said is very close to approval is the Pfizer's mRNA vaccine. Now, Pfizer vaccine, what we have learned or what we have heard, that this requires a very special cold chain, which is a minus 70. So, is India geared up or capable of maintaining this kind of a cold chain? This is a question to Professor Amitabh. Yeah.
It would be difficult. It would be, I think, minus 70 is difficult even in the developed countries. So I think it will be major logistic problem. Certainly.
So this will be a vaccine available, but logistics can create a major barrier.
It can
to
be
adopt it into any kind of a national or regional programs.
It can be, say, in the big cities or big centers only, because it cannot be for the remote areas.
Now, what about this Bharat Biotech plus ICMR vaccine? Is it also going to have some kind of like supply chain challenges related to cold chain? Because this is a whole Viron vaccine, means I think it is an attenuated vaccine.
It's not actually, but inactivated vaccine. Actually, it's an inactivated vaccine. The whole variant inactivated vaccine. So cold chain की problem नहीं है. Same 2 to 8 degree temperature पे maintain करना है. Like
any other vaccine.
Amitabh Banerjee rightly said कि for this Pfizer vaccine, messenger mRNA vaccine will face problem क्योंकि हम country उसके लिए तैयार नहीं है. -70 बाकी जगह नहीं है. But for this जो ICMR एंड भारत बायोटेक की है कोवैक्सीन, टेम्परेचर जो है इसके लिए 2 to 8 डिग्री चाहिए, तो उसके लिए हम तैयार हैं. इवन एट द PSC CSC लेवल, इवन बियॉन्ड PSC CSC लेवल भी we can maintain 2 to 8 degree temperature.
So thank you very much. With this, I will request my colleague Mr. Shankar to take on to the second part of the today's session.
Dr. Shankar, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think he is
Mr.
doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Atul. Thank you for the initial, this session. Now we come on to the culprit or the person now in discussion, the new strain. Now the first question obviously is those who have already been infected with COVID and who have recovered, do they need this vaccine?
If it's directed to me, and then
yes,
Dr.
Yes,
Professor Amitabh can reply.
Yes.
See, whatever evidence we had globally in last 100 years, इससे लेके smallpox till measles, even a natural infection always provide better protection than a vaccine, as a thumb rule, especially for the respiratory viruses. चाहे वो स्मॉल पॉक्स था, चाहे वो मीजल्स है, कोई भी जो है हमेशा बेटर देता है. अभी 4 दिन पहले एक न्यू इंग्लैंड जर्नल ऑफ मेडिसिन में पब्लिश भी हुआ है, जिसमें 12,000 हेल्थ केयर प्रोवाइडर्स का उन्होंने फॉलो अप किया है अराउंड 7 मंथ तक, जिसमें करीब 1100 समथिंग लोग पॉजिटिव थे, IgG पॉजिटिव था उन्होंने, और सिर्फ 2 में RT-PCR पॉजिटिव हुआ इवन आफ्टर 7 मंथ. तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि एटलीस्ट अभी जो है, जो भी एविडेंस हमारे पास है कि नेचुरल इन्फेक्शन जो है प्रोटेक्शन कर रहा है एटलीस्ट फॉर 7 मंथ. फॉर वैक्सीन वी डोंट हैव दिस टाइप ऑफ एविडेंस. जो भी वैक्सीन का एविडेंस है 1-2 महीने का है, लॉन्ग टर्म के बारे में नहीं पता है. सो आई कैन से कि इनको जो है दोज हु हैड दिस COVID-19 in the past, they do not require this vaccine, any vaccine at this moment, I can say. Dr. Amitabh, sir.
Amitabh, your viewpoint?
Mr. Shankar, may I have your permission? I have prepared some slides which tells the implications of the new strain also, because I wanted to compare the new strain and the vaccination requirement, and it will also cover the natural infection. So if I can permit to project some slides.
Please go ahead, sir.
5 minutes. I'll just share the screen. So can you see the screen, sir?
Yes, yes, we can see it. Yes, yes.
So I'll just, I would just try to make it in very simple language, because there's a lot of panic in the media and the global panic. What is mutation? As if mutation gives to a rise to a monster. So just, and how the implications for vaccination, for testing, and for the normal immunity also. So first I'll discuss this. Mutation is a nature's way of adaptation. It's a natural phenomena, not new, and it is due to errors during replication. The virus replicates many times, and particularly like UK is a country of 6 crores. So if it has mutated there, we are a country of 130 crores with large, much more replications. So it must have mutated many times more in our country also. This is my question. It is adaptation for survival both for virus and the humans. More lethal or virulent strains do not go far. If a mutation becomes a very lethal strain or variation, it will cause the symptoms and the person will self-isolate. So it will not spread, or the person will die, unfortunately. So the virus will be phased out, selected out, like Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest. Only the less virulent strains survive, and those strains which are less virulent become more infectious, like they are suspecting about the present state. Though there is no hard evidence, they are suspecting that the UK strain is more, it spreads faster. If it spreads faster, it has to be less virulent, because otherwise people are symptoms, they isolate. Everybody is aware now. RNA virus, now what is the, how to describe the mutation to a lay person? This is a RNA virus, single strand virus, that is the coronavirus. It has got 30,000 building blocks. These are just like nitrogen compounds, and 3,000 to 4,000 of these blocks are in the spike protein. So a lot of mutations have been taking place, mostly in the base of the coronavirus. The recent concern is that recent mutations are in the spike proteins. These spike proteins are the ones where the vaccine has been prepared, like the Pfizer vaccine and some mRNA vaccines are targeted at the spike protein. That is why the concern is there, whether it will work against the spike protein. And how these mutations take place, because these are the blocks, these are like bricks which make the whole organism, just like the bricks make a wall or a house. So these bricks, any number of times a wall is made, or number of times a builder makes a house, the sum of the bricks may be of low quality, or it may be of harder surface. So these may be different from the original bricks. So I have tried to make some type of explanation by, and what are the implications of mutation? It does not have to be negative. Most of the time it has no impact on virulence or infectivity. Mostly it is used as fingerprints for tracing of contact tracing of outbreaks. So it is just like a detective uses fingerprints. These genomic mutations are used for marking the path of the outbreak. May become less virulent but more infective. Rarely become more virulent, and such outliers die out, as I explained. Extreme mutation also kills the virus per se. It cannot survive. Jada defect hota, like a fetus does not survive if there is too much of a genetic malformation. Similarly, a virus, it mutates it too much, it itself dies out. So therefore, there is no cause for great alarm. The whole world is worried as if some monster has come. So it is not like. Now the question this we will discuss, will vaccine work? Will immunity obtained after recovery from natural infection work? And will RT-PCR will be detected? These are the three questions. And the fourth question is whether the monoclonal antibodies also work. So I have made this to explain to the lay person. Let us consider, as I said, there are 30,000 bases in the, which we can consider like we have a wall which has got 30,000 bricks. So what happens to mutation if the bricks are many times walls are made? Some bricks may become defective because of manufacturing defects. So if you say we have got now 3 mutations here, if you make this, you have got more mutation, and these mutations have occurred many times, but the whole protein, the whole structure remains the same, because majority of the bricks are normal. Similarly, majority of the base pairs are normal. Now the concern here is like some of the mutations have occurred in the spike protein in the UK strain. So spike protein, what happens? The vaccine is made against the spike protein. It identifies, and as I said, out of the 30,000 bricks, 3,000 to 4,000 belong to the spike protein. So even if there are some mutations in the spike protein, suppose these bases are mutated. So majority of the in the spike protein also remains same. So vaccine are identified, these receptors, they are identified to, if these vaccines are directed at this, unfortunately at these receptors which are mutated, the vaccine efficacy may go down. But the probability is very less because most of the vaccines are working at many of the receptors or isotopes. So other bricks it may. And suppose now we concern, the other question is whether natural infection. When a person recovers from a natural infection, the body is exposed to the whole virus. The immune system of the body is exposed to the whole virus, so it recognizes all the bricks. So even if there is larger mutation, the natural infection will work better because it will still recognizes the other original bricks. So natural infection, there is no chance that this mutant virus, the natural infection will not be able to ward off. So that way we should be very optimistic from natural infection. What is a mutation? Mutation is most of the time the virus is less virulent. In fact, it spreads faster with minimum symptoms and minimum mortality. In fact, if you see from our country point of view, it will spread herd immunity faster. What does vaccination does? Vaccine is also a mutant virus. They take out the virulence of the and make a vaccine artificially. Nature does it naturally by mutation. So we have to see the positive side. So if a population has already been exposed to the natural vaccine, mutant vaccine or even the natural infection, and those who have survived, they will have some protection. And suppose, as I said, if the mutation is self-limiting, it is not that mutation can go on so that it becomes unrecognizable by the vaccine or the antibodies or the natural infection. Because after some time, if you become too muted, the vaccine destroys itself. So with this background, there should be not great concern, but what is required is another thing, like what as an epidemiologist, we should see the data also from different countries. What is happening is we are taking data from Europe and USA and we are going into panic here. The global trend is definitely rising. Second wave or December, it is definitely rising and the recovery rate is 97% globally, mostly driven by the higher mortality in the northern hemisphere. And by the way, this December, January, otherwise also they get seasonal respiratory infection. So it may be a normal phenomenon of that. Similarly, the mortality is also rising in the northern hemisphere. That is globally, it is 3%. This is over globally, it is 3% mortality. Now I want to show you something about, I'll just compare it. I'll just for some sort of a relief we should have here. I think Mr. Shankar and Mr. Atul must have seen this movie Naya Daur. Ankit may have not seen it. So actually, this is something, actually we are from an older generation. अभी पहले वैक्सीन 10 साल में बनता था, अभी 1 साल में बन गया है. पहले टेस्ट मैच 5 दिन का होता था, आजकल 20 ओवर में होता है. तो अभी ये जो नया वैक्सीन बना, ये भी 20 ओवर लिमिटेड टिकट है. और ये पिक्चर है नया दौर. आई थिंक आई विल जस्ट गिव द प्लॉट ऑफ द स्टोरी. दिस इज अ विलेज लाइफ and these are Tonga people. This is the life of Tonga. This is Dilip Kumar, Vajanti Mala and another Ajit here. I think Mr. Ajit also resembles this hero. Mr. Atul, I think. So this is the Tonga. And they were actually doing the business of ferrying people by Tonga. And suddenly the industrialist comes and he wants to start a motorized bus. So there is actually the old times, there was more of socialism and anti-industrialism. Like here, we have certain skepticism about vaccine and more about herd immunity. So anyway, though we may believe in herd immunity, there was this believe in Tonga. But still, when the new motor car came, there was a worry about the accidents and other things that they will lose the business. So, but we don't go by Tonga now, we go by motor car. But now we are going for new vaccines. So there is some sort of a worry whether the Tonga will reach the, so there is a competition in this movie, whether Tonga and motor car, and by some shortcut and other narrow lanes and other things, the Tonga wins the race, motor car loses. So I was just thinking, what is happening in our country? We are a country, we have got a large population, we cannot be compared to the Western countries by restrictions, social distancing, lockdowns. In fact, by lockdown, we have increased the herd immunity, because people have got more space in office or in the workplace rather in their homes. Even middle class homes are crowded, 2-3 generations families. Slums are very crowded. So we may, all these measures might have increased the herd immunity. So just see the data, Indian data. So Naya Daur with Moderna and other vaccines, herd immunity can be compared to Tonga. and vaccines can be compared to motorized bus. In the long run, we will go for vaccine only. Like we are using Uber and Euler rather than Tonga. When we were school child, station में हम Tonga में जाते थे, अभी हम Uber book करते हैं. So, but what is that Indian data is very fascinating. Indian data is nobody is looking at Indian data and going into panic. This is the Indian data. If you see, we are just going by the classical herd immunity. It has peaked in September and it is coming down very rapidly. As on today, yesterday, we had just 20,000 cases. And the recovery rate of Indian is 99%. This is the case recovery rate. And infection fatality rate is 0.17 only. Case fatality is 1%. This is the data latest from Worldometer. Recovery is 99%. Vaccine is saying it has got 90% efficacy. Other vaccine is saying 60-70% efficacy. But the normal natural recovery is 99%. So it's difficult to understand the logic. I'll just put the data I myself don't know. And this is the trend of death. You see, these are the deaths. Again, yesterday we had just 250 deaths. Every day we have 400 deaths from traffic accidents. We have 2,000 under 5 children dying of preventable disease. 1,400 people dying from tuberculosis. So, and here it is we are going like a Tonga is reaching before the vaccine is coming. December में आ गया, अब January में आप आएंगे, तब तक अगर zero आ गया, the question is, do we really need a vaccine when most of the population seems to have been vaccinated by the natural infection? I mean, this is the data speaking. I am not saying. Data को हमको ठीक से देखना पड़ेगा, और we require more monitoring and surveillance. Something very fascinating is happening in our country. We require research here. Based on this data, I have got some questions. That Tonga herd immunity seems to be taking us to a destination earlier than motor car vaccine. Given this, do we need to rush mass scale vaccination at the cost of other programs? Because as it is, the universal immunization program, measles vaccination, diphtheria vaccination has suffered badly. Child death, 2,000 child in India die daily under 5 child. Now, if the vaccination has not been given, malnutrition, economic crisis is there, the UNICEF says 4,000 child will die every day. And COVID death is just 250. Elderly and comorbid, of course, that is a tragedy. Can we instead wait and watch with readiness to launch selective emergency vaccination drive around new outbreak cluster? We can have a very good system and see whether there are clusters, then we can do a ring vaccination. These are my idea. I'm not saying it may be considered. UK population is about 6 crore. India, did mutations go undetected in India? It just cannot be. Mutation is a chance of nature. 6 करोड़ में अगर म्यूटेशन होता तो 130 करोड़ में कितने रेप्लिकेशन हो गएंगे, तो कितने बार म्यूटेशन हो गएंगे? इट इज नाउ यूके में होगा. वी आर स्टार्टेड टेस्टिंग फॉर दैट वेरिएंट. व्हाई वी आर नॉट? And did benign mutations speed up herd immunity in India? This is the question. I am not a virologist. This is for the virologist to answer. Is it possible and worthwhile to trace all such mutations? Is it worth the year? What about other public health? As I have already said, rotary accident, daily 400 daily deaths. Projecting only COVID data is which one may cause panic and knee-jerk policies harming public health and society. So this is
Thank you very much, Professor Banerjee. I think as usual in other webinars where you were there, you were quite revolutionary and outspoken. And you're also ready to take on, the conventional stand by proving what's there on the hard data. So I would like Professor Rai.
Dr. Suri has also joined us.
Dr. Suri is coming. Yes. Welcome, Dr. Suri, once more. Glad to see you. I know you're extremely busy. So what do you have to say about it?
Good evening.
Good evening, yes. So what is your take on this new strain? Of course, the earlier speaker had said that we need not panic because the faster the spread, it would be less virulent. And mutations might already have occurred in the Indian population, which we probably were not aware of, and mutation is a natural process. So we need not be panic as such. The hard data is in our favor. What is your view on this?
Yeah, I fully agree with the views which have been given to you already. This new strain has been reported from UK, East England, and then also from some countries of Europe. So far, whatever we have learned about this new strain is that it is more infectious. It transmits easily from one person to the other person. As far as the virulence part is concerned, it has not been shown to be that way, causing more serious disease. In fact, some of the reports are saying that its mortality is 4 per 1,000. So that may be even less, but I think we need to have much more data before we can comment on something like this. So far, this strain is there. It is found to be more transmissible, and I think we should not panic till we have evidence to show that it is causing more serious disease or more mortality. Even from London, from where it has been reported at present, we don't have any evidence to show that it is causing more serious disease or more deaths. And as far as the vaccine part is concerned, it is a mutation. We know that it is an RNA virus, and RNA viruses are known to have mutations, and there have been so many mutations reported so far. We have so many strains, but all of them have not been found to be clinically significant in the sense that they are causing more serious disease. And as far as the reinfection as well as response to vaccine is concerned, I think vaccine has a large number of antibodies, and if suppose if you consider this virus and the S protein, the spike protein, there are so many proteins in that. It's not single protein. There are so many epitopes. There are multiple this thing, and we have antibodies against all those. If suppose one of them has mutated, then I don't think vaccine is going to be ineffective in this thing. And even if something like that happen, I think now after the vaccine development, there is a capability to change the vaccine strain also. So that is also possible. But I think at the moment we should not panic. We need to wait. We should wait for more information about this. So far, I think nothing very serious about it.
But why is the government pressing the panic button?
See, the thing is, since we don't know, it can be either way. So it is better to take precautions. At least we should see that once it enters, and since it is more transmissible, so it should not lead to another, spike in the number of cases. So at present, the government policy is basically to isolate these cases. Most of the time, so far, whatever cases we have seen in India who have come from UK, they have been very mild cases. And since we don't know about their transmissibility to family members, because we know that so far it is 70% more transmissible. And if there are family members who are vulnerable to develop more serious form of disease, then it is better to put them into institutional quarantine. So that is what the government plans to do, is that suppose if in the usual strain which we had, if a person has mild disease, he can be treated at home. He can be put on home quarantine. But these patients at present, we would prefer not to be at home, because they may not have serious disease, but the other people may have. So one thing more, I would say, if a disease is more transmissible, suppose, then the case load will increase. And if the case load will increase, its equivalent component of 5 to 10% serious cases may also increase. So you may, even if it is not more virulent, but since it is more transmissible, it is going to then infect more people. And with the same virulence, if it infects more people, there will be more serious patient with the same prevalence, with the same percentage. So I think it is important to be cautious.
Professor Rai, I wanted to know whether this virus has got something to do with climate also, because it all started in a cold country, it spread to a cold country. Now you have new chains in China, you have new chains in South Korea. Does it have anything to do with climate, where it's all winter?
This, are you talking about this new strain?
Yes, new strain, yes.
See, why they detected? Globally, almost this gene sequencing, they have done around 2.5 lakh. UK alone have done around 1.4 lakh, right? In our country, the total gene sequencing till date is around 5,000. So because they are doing more tests, more gene sequencing tests, that's why they detected it. I fully agree with Dr. Amitabh Banerjee ki, we are not aware about mutation in our country because of this reason, right? हो सकता है we are moving towards the herd immunity. The data is showing, and I agree with him कि data जो show कर रहा है कि we are moving towards herd immunity gradually. September से अभी तक decrease कर रहे हैं. See, I am giving you example of धारावी. I have seen many presentation जिसमें लोग कहते हैं कि धारावी में हमने इतने कंटेनमेंट जोन बनाया, वी कंट्रोल. अगर आप देखें तो लास्ट 1 मंथ में धारावी से 50 केस भी नहीं है, नॉट ए 50 केस, द बिगेस्ट स्लम ऑफ दिस कंट्री. लेकिन those who are saying it's because of the containment zone area, they don't know the basic of epidemiology. During July, the sero surveillance report, they indicated that 55% sero positivity there. So अगर 55% हो गया तो आपकी किस कंटेनमेंट जोन से उसने रोक लिया? कंटेनमेंट का मतलब ये होता है कि हार्डली 5 to 10% आपने किया, एंड देन तो अगर 5 to 10% होगा तो डेफिनेटली सर्ज आएगा, क्योंकि यू कैन नॉट प्रिवेंट दिस टाइप ऑफ डिजीज, यू कैन ओनली डिले द प्रोपगेशन, राइट? So, and this Dharavi is a classical example, but many people, they are giving this example of Dharavi. Dharavi is a model for this country, how we control, and today we are not seeing any cases. July में अगर कहीं 55% positivity होगी, that, and this is the best evidence. Zero positivity is still the best evidence about this overall infection in the community. बाकी तो जितने आप टेस्ट करेंगे उस पर डिपेंड करता है. If you test less number detect करेंगे, you will test more number detect करेंगे. So testing more means you are increasing number of cases, that's all. वो ट्रू कभी भी पिक्चर नहीं है. Hardly even with this number of 10 lakh cases, all sero surveillance report suggest that hardly you are detecting 5% of the total estimated cases, right? तो ये नहीं. So इसलिए जो है ये कहना कि कोल्ड वेदर के कारण से म्यूटेशन हो रहा है, ये नहीं. शायद अदर कंट्रीज दे आर अनेबल टू डिटेक्ट ह्यूज, एंटायर वर्ल्ड 50% में है, 50% में जो है यूके अकेले है फॉर जीन सीक्वेंसिंग. दैट्स व्हाई मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली दे आर एबल टू डिटेक्ट दिस. तो अभी एंड वी डोंट हैव एनी एविडेंस टू सजेस्ट दैट बिकॉज ऑफ द कोल्ड वेदर और क्लाइमेट म्यूटेशन इज occurring. और like Dr. Suri also said, Dr. Amitabh also said कि it's a nature of the virus. जब भी रिप्लिकेट करता है, फास्ट रिप्लिकेट करता है, आरएनए सिंगल स्ट्रैंड है. यूजुअली जब डबल स्ट्रैंड होता है तो उसमें म्यूटेशन के उतने चांसेस नहीं होते हैं, क्योंकि एक एरर को दूसरा करेक्ट कर लेता है. सिंगल स्ट्रैंड आरएनए, चूंकि सिंगल स्ट्रैंड है तो इसमें जब फास्ट म्यूटेशन हो, then there is always chance of this type of mutation. So I think
if in the worst case scenario, Dr. Suri and Dr. Amitabh, in the worst case scenario, if there is, God forbid, a huge spread of the virus of the new strain, what are the measures you think that we should take? UK has gone for a strict lockdown, and other countries are also going for the lockdown. But in Indian circumstances, if there is such a mutation, if there is a faster spread, what is the precaution that India should take? First, Dr. Suri, and second, Dr. Amitabh. Yes, Dr. Suri? I think he's not able to hear. Professor Amitabh, will you be able to answer first?
This, as I said, and Dr. Rai also said, our country has got, as I also explained, even if there is mutation, because the mutation takes place only into the few of the bricks, building blocks. There are 30,000 building blocks of the virus. So even if the mutation is also severe mutation, still always the natural antibodies by natural infection, which our population seems to have, because the data is showing, I don't expect that it will have any impact on our population, firstly. Secondly, as I also said, that if it causes, virulence increases, then also it will die out. If it is virulence is less, it will not have an impact. It will increase and accelerate the herd immunity. And if the virulence is more, people will have symptoms or people will be bedridden. So they will not spread. So it has got a natural check. So either way, I don't see we have to worry, because first round of vaccination without any expense, our country has already got it appears. Because simultaneously, I think the cases are coming down. Earlier, some states were increasing, others, but recently now all the states are showing a declining trend. So we have had already exposed to the antigen. And I don't foresee, and I don't think that we should go for more lockdown or night curfew. It's not serving any purpose, damaging the economy. But as I said, what I also said is we shouldn't be complacent. We should have an increase of surveillance and monitoring system. Any clusters, as Dr. Suri also said, any clusters should be investigated. And once we have got the vaccine, we can have a ring vaccination like we used to do earlier to control the outbreaks. So we should we have already got a good monitoring system for COVID. All the cases are reported within 24 hours. So any unusual incidents we will come to know. And since vaccine is there, we should, instead of going for mass vaccination, we can conserve our resources and go for selective surgical strikes, one can say.
Professor Rai, your opinion on this?
Already, Dr. Amitabh has replied to your questions, and I fully agree with him. See, almost for natural infection, although Government of India guidelines, they have mentioned that even those who have natural infection, we may give vaccine, and so they may require vaccination. But Dr. Banerjee rightly said, we do not require vaccination for at least if you have confirmed cases. And then you can save a lot of resources. In this country, this 1 crore, more than 1 crore cases, they are the reported cases. The actual number of infection is almost at least 30 to 40 times higher than this number, the reported numbers. Based on the zero surveillance report, I can say. So I fully agree with Dr. Banerjee. So he has already replied to this question.
Yeah, there's a small question. Of course, this is outside the topic that we are dealing. There's a question from one of the viewers who said his father had COVID-19, and then during the infection period, he could hardly, get any sense of smell. So is it natural? I think it's a natural phenomenon that you lose a sense of smell during the infection period. Is it natural?
Yeah, in COVID-19 patients, many patients had this type of complaint, and this complaint persists for 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes even more than 4 weeks. So it's one of the common symptoms.
Okay. Professor Amitabh, this particular, now you have these small cases in a few states. Do you foresee that, there will be, this would expand to more areas in India? Of course, you have said that we need not worry about it, but even then, do you think that it will spread and that we need to take a little bit of more conscious? Because now what has happened is, it's just the opposite of lockdown is happening. People are now free, and the colleges and schools are reopening, and the economy is back on the bounce. People are not wearing masks. If you look at what's happening in the borders of Delhi, there's no mask at all. Even our politicians have given up masks. So do you think that we need to continue this precaution method at least for a few months, what we have been advocating, like, wearing a mask, being hand sanitization, all these things for a few more months?
What I think is we are not doing adequate sero surveys. We should do much more. We should cover the whole country with rapid sero surveys. We had done it 10 days. We covered 5,000 population with in our area. So I think the whole country can do sero surveys, which get rapid. At least we can get an idea how much immunity we have got. And that models can be built on all country sero surveys. What we are doing is we are extrapolating a model from UK and that Imperial College, and we are going to panic. If we do sero surveys, the pitch is entirely different in our country. And of course, I don't think the sky has not fallen after the Bihar election. The sky has not fallen after the Diwali festivals, and I don't think we are going to get. And it is good that we have seen the farmers movement also. We have seen the people without mask in Delhi borders. And I personally feel if I go to the slums, even the mask is in a very dirty condition. The same mask people use for days. I doubt whether how much infection it may be spreading more infection. The children, they exchange the masks. So this mask is just a placebo effect. It gives as if, and then people do not do social distance. It is just not possible. So these measures are very good for Western countries, and that's why they have not developed herd immunity. So probably we have got a younger population, we have got less obese population. So we have got probably other coronaviruses which are giving cross immunity. This hypothesis is also coming in a big way, that we have got that hygiene hypothesis, that if you are too much, immune system is not primed, or immune system, because of mixing and other things, we are exposed to so many infections from childhood, and our population is definitely more immune. So we should do more research which is country specific rather than aping the West.
Atul, would you like to ask anything?
Yeah, I would like to say, try and then summarize and then get the feedback whether I could summarize. So say from 2020, bad 2022, we are moving to 2021, which is few hours from now. And I think last year or this year, 2020 beginning, I think we were not even prepared or aware that what kind of challenges we are going to face. But I think the January 1st, 2021 looks pretty promising because one, we have access to our vaccine. So the high risk population can have access to, or say free access to the AZ and Oxford vaccine. Followed by, I think we have reasonably impressive herd immunity in the community. And if we have to take, say, one key example as quoted by Dr. Rai, like is Dharavi example. Let's say 55% of seroconversion or seropositive population, which creates itself a huge amount of light wall. And herd immunity is definitely better than vaccine acquired immunity. Now, third is a little bit of a threat or skepticism around the new mutation or new COVID virus with a mutation. Maybe a risk, but largely it is not looking like is an increased risk for 2021. If it happens, I think we need to keep our eyes and ears open, and the localities and communities wherever we see the surge. I think it requires a local intervention rather than a pan-India intervention. And both way, like if it is like spreadability is faster with a low virulence, I think it is a welcome move for a country like India. It will help acquire a greater degree or percentage of herd immunity, which is really good. So in a way, I think the coming year is looking very promising. And I think it will not be as bad as what we experienced in 2020. And I think it will not require that kind of a major lockdowns. Maybe local, say, the strategies could be implemented, not the pan state or pan India. So maybe whatever the way I have summarized, if it is like in line with that understanding what we got from you, but if I miss something, like you can add or delete. Dr.
No, we
Banerjee.
can have the closing remarks from Professor Rai and Professor Banerjee. I think Professor Rai, you can just give your closing remarks on this new variants and the vaccine briefly. Yeah.
There is no need of any panic. Whatever evidence we had globally, especially from UK, we can say it's not a very virulent. Slightly infection rate is more, so it's slightly more infectious. Most probably, we don't have sufficient evidence, but based on the current evidence, we can say. So the message is there is no need of any panic, and most probably our natural infection will protect from that also.
Yeah, your message, Professor Banerjee.
As I said, we should do more research which is appropriate to our data and to our country. We should be the leaders. Actually, India is very fascinating. It is the trend is going against the world as far as cases are coming down, and we should. That's why actually we should do more studies. It's a very good research ground rather than imitating the studies from the West. We are taking the Western models, which may again land us in trouble. Earlier also it landed us in trouble, and it may have again land us in trouble. So we should follow our own data, and we should be, as I said, our recovery is 99%. Against the global average of 97%. 3 times more we have got recovery. So what we can take a chance. We can delay the vaccination, we can observe more, we can study more. Thank you.
Excellent. And Dr. Ankit Sharma, is Professor Panda come in?
No, he won't be able to.
Okay. Now, I thank you very much for the eminent. I think as what Atul said, I agree completely with him that we are starting 2021 with an extremely positive note that we, vaccine or no vaccine, we have already got the herd immunity probably, and we need not panic. And as what Professor Amitabh Banerjee said, we need to look hard at Indian data and also do adequate research locally. And as what Professor Rai has said, that, mutations do occur naturally, so we need not panic as this is a natural phenomenon. The more it's virulent, the more it spreads, the less virulent it would be. And then, we need to have probably herd immunity would have already come, as he cited the example of Dharavi. So excellent start to 2021. No need to panic, but still they need to be cautious. We need to look, as what Professor Banerjee said, more of research, more of looking hard into data, and then coming up with our own conclusions. With that, I thank all the eminent speakers, and I hand over this to Ankit Sharma for his vote of thanks and the video thereafter. Ankit, your.
Thank you, sir. But on the behalf of HEAL Foundation, I thank our eminent experts, our moderators for the day, and our audience who has been with us through all our journey. And this is the last webinar for the year 2020. And believe you me that we will keep coming with some new topics to spread health awareness. With this, I thank you all to join us for all these webinars. And I'll leave you with what we have achieved in this year with a small video of us.
And wishing you all a
Thank
happy
you.
new year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Have a great time.